Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a lovely day today, and I hope your Christmas has been so fun and festive, and I am so excited to be filming another Christmas video for you guys. So let's talk about what this video is going to be about. It's another kind of crafty Christmas vlog. I am going to take you guys along with me for my Christmas party. So that's actually tomorrow. My sister's coming over tonight. We're going to bake a Yule log, and then tomorrow we'll finish up the Yule log, we'll decorate, and then we'll host the Christmas party. And then after that, I have two sewing projects I'm going to be working on, both being a pair of pajamas, one for myself and one for my daughter. And I'm really excited to start working on those. So let me take another sip of tea, and then I will show you guys what we're going to be making. Also, this is my new to me mug I found on Poshmark. This is part of a collaboration that Rifle Paper Company and Anthropology had together in like 2019. And I have one mug, there's 3 of them, and this was the second one that I needed. And people were wanting insane amounts of money for them, but I found one on Poshmark for $20 and I squealed. I was so happy. So I just have one more mug left to get, and it's the Nutcracker one. It has all of the Nutcracker characters on the front, but I think it's adorable, especially since I've really been enjoying Christmas villages this year. I think it's so fun. It also kind of coordinates with my sweater, so it makes me really happy. But the real reason you guys are here, which is talking about the sewing projects. So the first sewing project is a nightgown for my daughter. I don't have the sewing pattern printed out yet, but this is the pattern that I'm going to be using. It's by a small creator on Etsy, and it's just so darling. Very classic Christmas nightgown. My daughter loves nightgowns, and so I think this is gonna be really fun to make for her. And this is the fabric that she chose, the blue Nutcracker fabric from Rifle Paper Company. It actually matches her little stocking back here, so I think she's just gonna look so darling in this. And I'm also looking forward to making children's clothes. I haven't really sewn anything for her, and this will be one of my first actual projects for her, so I'm really excited to work on that. And then the other project is, like I said, for myself, and I am using a sewing pattern for this, but I'm going to be adding several things to it. So the pattern I'm using is the Carolyn pajama pattern from Closet Core Patterns. We're going to be making this view, and I've actually made this before, but when I made it the first time, I had some fit issues. I was still really new to sewing, and the pajamas just did not hold up. So this is going to be the base of what I'm using, because the inspiration that I'm wanting for my pajamas this year is actually based off of a pajama set that Hill House released a couple of months ago. I'll put some pictures of what they look like up here, but they're very similar to that pajama pattern, but instead of buttons, they have ties for the front. They have 2 pockets in the front of the shirt as well, and they also have ruffles. They have ruffles on the tops of the pockets in the front, on the tops of the cuffs at the bottom of the pants, and also around the neckline. So my plan is to use that pattern and just add ruffles and replace the buttons with ties. So I'm really excited to do that. And the fabric that we're going to be using is none other than this beautiful blush Rifle Paper Company Nutcracker fabric. I adore this fabric. If you have been following the past couple of videos that I've posted, you're going to be very familiar with this fabric. I just think it is so beautiful and fun and festive, and I love pink at Christmas time. I love pink. My living room is pink, but especially at Christmas, it's just so whimsical and fun. So this is the fabric that I'm going to be using for that, but that is going to be a little bit later in the video. So what I need to go do now is actually spruce up the bathrooms and everything, and then I will take you guys along with us when my sister gets here later tonight, when we start doing some festive baking to get ready for my Christmas party.
I woke up this morning, I looked outside my window where children lighting up the Christmas tree, and the snow is falling. It reminds me of the good times, those winters we would spend, just you and me.
Look at that technique.
It's been such a long time, but tomorrow's Christmas Day, and I am on my way. I'm coming home for Christmas. Yes, I'm coming home to you. Oh, how much I missed you. Wanna spend this day with you. Yes, I'm coming home to you. Ooh. me to hold you. We'll be sitting by the fire and watch our favorite movies on TV. We can do what we wanna do. Walk under the moonlight and kiss under the stars. It's gonna be like we never were apart. Yes, I'm on my way. This time I'm here to stay. I'm coming home for Christmas. Yes, I'm coming home to you.
Good morning. A cup of tea in a Rifle Paper Company mug, of course. Still in my jammies, and today is the day of my Christmas party. So my sister and I stayed up a little late last night finishing the first part of the Yule log. Yesterday was mostly just like the baking and the assembly and the cooling, and today will be frosting it and making it all pretty, and that's our favorite part, and that won't take very long. So my sister's gonna come here a little bit early before the party starts so we can get that all decorated before people get here. But I have quite a few things I need to get done this morning before my party. I need to wrap my gift drawing names present. I need to make some of the food. So we're having breakfast for dinner, so I'm gonna like cook up the bacon. It's really my main thing I need to do. Everything else I kind of make right before we're going to eat, so that won't be very hard, but I need to do that. My daughter and I are going to make homemade whipped cream for the hot cocoa later on when we watch our movie. And then the most fun part, we need to decorate the table. I'm so excited to do this year. I have all of my things that I've made, the Christmas crackers and the placemats, and I'm really excited. I ended up not finishing all the placemats that I needed just because I was starting to get a little burnt out of making them, and I didn't want to burn myself out from sewing. So I think I have 7 or 8 finished. So I'm gonna see how we're gonna set up the table with just that amount. But I am really excited about the table. And then my daughter and I will get dressed. I have a nutcracker dress for her, a nutcracker dress for myself, and it should just be really fun. So I'm just trying to have a slow morning this morning for the little bit of time that I have, and then we're going to jump right into getting everything ready for the party. So hopefully you guys have fun going along with us. I probably won't talk to you guys too much today because I will be pretty busy, but let's get ready for my Christmas party. Everything is looking so fun and festive out there. The amount of joy that is in my heart right now is unmatched. I love hosting this Christmas party so much. However, I want to add one more thing to the table, which is another placemat. I only made 7. I thought I had made 8, and this was the 8th one that I almost finished. So I think this will only take me like 20 minutes to finish, and we're doing great on time. It's only a little after 11 and people aren't coming until 3, and I really don't have that much left to do. So I am going to finish this afternoon, and then I can get dressed for the party in my nutcracker dress and do my hair. I'm so excited. a couple days since the Christmas party, and oh my goodness, the day was magical. It was perfect, and I am so thankful. It was so fun to be able to wear my dress. Our Yule log turned out beautifully, probably one of our most beautiful looking Yule logs that we've ever made. Dinner was wonderful. The Christmas crackers mostly worked. I think I'll need to tweak them a little bit for next year. The snap didn't snap on all of them, and I think it's because of how I taped them in the Christmas cracker. So we'll do a couple of adjustments to those next year. Everyone really enjoyed doing the puzzle that I put in the Christmas crackers. We all had so much fun opening gifts. I made homemade whipped cream for my hot cocoa, and I don't know why. I have never done that before, but we'll most definitely be doing it again because it was delicious and so easy. And then watching the movie Christmas with the Cranks was an actual joy. I love that movie. My whole family loves that movie. We could probably reenact the whole movie for you right now if we were asked to. We know like every single word. And one of the main characters, Nora Crank, is quite literally my mother, and so it makes it even funnier as we're watching it all together as a family. And it was just such a joyful day. So had to take a little bit of a rest in between because I was wore out the next day, but we are back in the sewing room and we're going to start working on the pajamas. I made myself a cup of winter blend tea in my new to me tea for one teapot. So this is the little mug, and then look at this teapot that goes on top. Oh my goodness, it is so cute. I found this on eBay. This has been on my wish list for quite a while now. This is a Rifle Paper Company collection that they did with Anthropologie in like 2019, and I have wanted this little set for a while, and one came up for a really good price on eBay, so I treated myself and purchased one, and I love it so much. So I need to get my sewing machine set up, and I think what we're gonna start with on the pajamas is we're gonna start with mine, and I'm gonna start with the pants. I'm a little on the fence on what size I need to make. I cut out a size or two bigger than what I made the last time because they were way too small, but I don't have too much time this afternoon, and honestly I haven't sewn in a little while, so I'm wanting to kind of get back into the swing of it, and I think the pants will be a good move. So I'm just gonna get all set up, and then let's start sewing these Christmas pajamas. I literally just finished the bottom of my pants, and look at this. That was all that was left. So satisfying. Trying the pants on, first of all, way too long, but I'm kind of holding these how these will fit, and honestly definitely happy I went with the two sizes bigger because they're nice and loose and comfortable. So I'm really happy with how these look so far. If you can see how much I'm holding in the back, there's quite a bit extra back here, but since it's a elastic waistband, it's pretty forgiving. So let's get back to the sewing room and continue working on these.
Be alright, but under the stars, I close my eyes and think.
Back in the sewing room today, and it's been a couple days since I worked on the pants. Last time I talked to you, we pretty much finished the main construction of the pants. I did end up adding a couple rows of stitching on top of the elastic just because I kind of like the look of that a little bit better. So the plan for this afternoon is to work on the cuffs of the pants. I'm probably gonna need to shorten these a little bit more. The biggest thing with the cuffs today is adding the ruffles. So I looked back at the reference image that I'm going off of for the Hill House pajamas, and if you notice on the bottom, there is this tiny little ruffle on top of the cuff. So the plan is today is to make that ruffle. So this is what I've done so far is I have this burgundy fabric that I have left over from my placemats, and I'm going to be using this for the ruffle. So I cut a 2-inch piece of fabric. I had to attach two pieces together to get this length, and what I did for the length was I just doubled the circumference of my pant cuff so I could get it nice and ruffly. This may be a little bit too long. I may have to shorten it a little bit. And then my plan is to just run a row of gathering stitches on the top here against this raw edge, and then I will gather this all together and then pin this to the pants, and this will make that ruffle on the top of the cuff. So that's really my goal for today, is to at least get that done and maybe even add a little faux tie to the front of the pants just because I like how that looks. But if we can get that done in an orderly fashion, then we can start working on the shirt. So we'll see how much we get done. I'm actually going to go make myself a cup of tea, and then we'll start working on these pants. Hello, hello, another cup of tea, another day in the sewing room. I am in my pajamas because Rose and I are having a little pajama day, and you're gonna notice as I make more videos in December and the winter time, we have a lot of pajama days in there because during the spring, summer, and fall, I'm outside a lot, but in the winter, I definitely cozy up inside and I love being in my pajamas all day. Grab yourself a cup of tea, get in your pajamas, and let's try and work on this sewing project. I did end up finishing the puzzle that I worked on just a couple nights ago when I filmed, and I got a new puzzle in the mail today and I'm so excited. So I got this puzzle from another YouTuber. Her name is Morgan Long. I think I've mentioned her before. I love her. She's probably one of my top 3 favorite YouTubers. I love her heart behind her videos. I love her vlogs, and I just love her as a person. And I believe it was last year she sold a Christmas puzzle and I loved it. She's an illustrator, but I didn't get a chance to get one. She released another one this year and I purchased it. Oh my goodness. She illustrated this whole thing and I love this. This is her dog Rue and her new cat Paddington. And if that just does not give you all the cozy feels, I don't know what does. So I'm really excited to start this with Rosie and Caleb, and we'll probably start this maybe not tonight but maybe this weekend, and I'm just so excited. So I wanted to show that to you guys. Unfortunately, she is sold out. She sells out pretty quickly, but she has been selling a little bit more merch that she illustrates throughout the year. So if you do follow her, definitely keep tabs on when she's selling things because her illustrations are just so darling. I love them so much. So I just want to show you that to you guys before we started working on making the shirt for the pajamas. The goal today is to get the main construction of the shirt done. I want to try it on because I don't remember what size I've made this shirt in before, and I just picked what size I thought I would need, and I want to make sure it's not too big. So I want to get that put together, and hopefully we can get the main part put together before I start adding the ruffles that I'm going to on the shirt. So I'm really just hoping to get the main part of the shirt done today and then hopefully finish the rest of it this weekend, because today is December 12th, which means I have 12 days to finish my pajamas and Rosie's, and that should be enough. But I do have one more sewing project video I want to make in between now and Christmas, so I'm really hoping to get this done so I can start working on that video. If that sounds good to you, like I said, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's start sewing the shirt for my pajamas. Hello. So it is a new day. Started the morning with working on the Morgan Long puzzle. It is snowing and it's just the perfect day to be sewing. Look at me, basically Dr. Seuss. I ended up working on the collar for the shirt last night. I did finish it and get it attached. I was going to film it, but my camera was full, my battery died, so I just attached it and put it on. And now I need to work on the little details. So I did take the morning this morning and work on making the ties for the front of the shirt and also the ruffles. I figured you guys really didn't need to see me do that. So now is the time we're going to be attaching them. So I've been playing around with where the ties need to go on the shirt, which is the biggest thing I'm nervous about because I just want to make sure they line up with each other and they are actually functional, and I don't have to wear like a t-shirt or anything underneath of the pajama shirt in case they don't actually close. So I'm just gonna put some Christmas music on and let's see if we can at least finish the front of the shirt today. Here's what we're working with. This is what the collar looks like around the top, which I just love. I do need to get rid of some of my gathering stitches here that you can see, but other than that, the collar is done. So now we're working on on this front part here. So my thought for the ties is I'm thinking I'm going to sew the ties onto the actual shirt. I'll just baste stitch these on, and then the ruffle I think I'm going to put on the facing on these front pieces here, because it might be a little bit easier to kind of adjust the ruffles and see where I need to stop the ruffle if I just put it on here instead of on the actual shirt. So that's the plan. We're gonna see if this actually works. I'm gonna go baste these down just to make sure it's gonna be in that 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. So I'll probably just do it pretty close to the raw edges here. And for the ties, in case you're wanting to do this yourself, I just made some bias tape with the matching fabric. Focus, I don't know if you'll be able to see it because this fabric is so dark, but I just have a little seam down here, and I have the edges finished here, and then I just left these edges raw since they're gonna be enclosed in this seam. So I'm hoping this is gonna work. We're gonna see. Hello, back in the sewing room, and now we are going to start working on my daughter's nightgown. I'm so excited. So the pattern that I am using is from the company Sunflower Seams, and this is their Primrose nightgown pattern. It's just a very classic nightgown pattern, and I'm making the long sleeves, the knee length version for my daughter. So I'm pretty excited. I got this all cut out this morning while we watched the New York City Ballet Nutcracker performance, and it was lovely to just have going on in the background while I cut everything out. So I think this should go pretty quick. I have a couple of hours before I have some of my family coming over to watch our Christmas movie tonight. So I'm just gonna see how much I can get done, because I think this should be a fairly quick project. So I'm just gonna put some blue thread in my sewing machine, and let's make this cute little Christmas nightgown. Ta-da! Both the pajamas are done, and I honestly am so pleased with how they turned out. So let's talk about both of them. We'll talk about my daughter's first. This little nightgown was so much fun to make. So quick, so simple. I absolutely loved every part of making this. I'll show you guys kind of a little bit more of the details, because I know I wasn't able to really film me making this very much. It was pretty simple. Here is some details. I have the little puff sleeves, the little elastic wrist here that makes this little cute ruffle. I love the front. It has these buttons on the front, and you can make a version that has a ruffle around the neckline and a ruffle at the bottom of the skirt, but my daughter really did not want any ruffles, so I just made it simple like this. But I think this is just so precious. I am thinking of making a matching hair bow out of this exact same fabric for her, because I think it would just be so darling. So now let's talk about my pajamas. Overall, I'm honestly so pleased with how they look. I feel like they really look similar to the Hill House pajamas. However, I do have a couple of things that if I were to do this exact same set again with the ties in the front, I would have to figure something else out. So let me kind of show you guys what I mean, which you may have noticed this in the video already, but because this was not made for ties, I had to actually sew one of the ties underneath here to the side of the shirt. I'll show you what I mean. So if you notice, this is where the tie should be, but I had to sew it here because if I didn't, the shirt kept coming open, and I really did not want to have to wear a shirt under this. So That means that everything's a little off center, and now that I pointed it out, you're probably not gonna be able to unsee it, because as you can see, the pockets, there's more fabric on this side than on this side. But I feel like there's so much going on with the pattern already that it kind of just blends in with everything, and it really doesn't bother me. But if I were to make these again, I'd have to figure something out with that. That's kind of the main thing that I don't love. The other thing that I probably would have done differently is I would have made the ties a little bit less thick. I feel like these are really thick ties, but again, that's okay. It's kind of small things in the grand scheme of things. And other than that, honestly, I'm so pleased with how they turned out. So all that being said, I am gonna end the video here. If you guys did enjoy this video, please let me know in a comment down below. I always love reading them. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas so far, and I will see you guys in a new one very soon. Mwah.